Welcome back to Dragonfall. We just wrapped up what I guess you would call the Allegiance mission, or I forget what the term was for it, for Glory. I think we're all done talking to her. Yeah. Let's talk with everyone else. See if there's anything new to say. I don't think they're going to have anything to say about this. Oh, okay. Well, we've got something. Iger glances up from her PDA at the sound of your approach. Alice, this isn't the best of times. Her body language is self-assured, but you can hear the anxiety in her voice. Something has her worried, and in a big way. Talk to me, Iger. If something's put you on edge, I want to know what it is. There's a long pause. Finally, she turns her PDA so you can look at the screen. This. The image that greets you is a hollow pic of a rail-thin orc with jet black hair. Who am I looking at? His name is Yuli Kozlov, but he's better known by his handle, the Engineer. He's a mercenary, ex-Spetsnaz, one of the best in his field. I ran up against him in my KSK days. Tell me more. His specialties are social engineering and wet work. In practice, he spends most of his time paving the way for organized crime syndicates to seize new territory. He sets up bribes, takes out key members of the opposition, and forges alliances with existing street gangs. All of the groundwork that a syndicate needs. He's extremely bad news, Alice, and my contact spotted him in Schottennest. That's a little too close to the Kriz Bazaar for comfort. Exactly. I've seen what the Engineer can do up close. My KSK unit tracked him a few years ago. I had him in the sights of my rifle, but I was ordered to hold fire. We couldn't afford to give away our position. To this day, I regret obeying that order. I saw what happened to the town he was softening up after the Syndicate moved in. Alice, I have to stop him before it's too late. What happened to that town, it can't be allowed to happen again in Schottennest. I feel like this is just... It's giving me options that are just needlessly dismissive, so I'm not going to take them. Agreed. Do you know who he's working for now? The safest bet would be a Russian syndicate, but there's no telling. His client list is longer than you'd expect. Got any examples? Well, I know for a fact that he's worked for mafia groups operating inside and outside Russia, and he put in a lot of time with the Lotbachevsky syndicate. He's taken contracts with the Triads as well. My contacts tell me that he's even done a few jobs for Tamanus. It's a hell of a resume. Yeah, it is. She bites her lip and stares at the image on the PDA for a long moment. So, long story short, I'm going to have to step out for a mission or two. I know how important it is that we resolve the first swing situation. I get it, but I can't just sit back and let this happen. She shakes her head. I won't. Somehow I don't think I should just let her go by herself, but... this seems... Why would it give me these options? If the Kriz Bazaar is at risk, this is too important a job to rest on the shoulders of one person. I'm going with you. End of story. Alright, fearless leader. You're right, I could use the help. But the others, they can't know about this. This is going to have to be a quiet job. 2 people max. You're sure you're prepared for this? If you can't hold up your end, I'll be better off on my own. Don't worry about me, I'm solid. Yeah, I know you are. Grab your things and meet me at Der Wine Keller. I've got a contact who's going to join us there, and he can help us figure out our next step. Alright, well, that's a follow-up. Thoughts about the last run? Alright, nothing there. Is there anything I should be pocketing? Don't think so. I might switch out one of the heavy med kits for... this interface is so bad. I could take... we'll check the gun vendor, but, let's see. Just make sure nobody else has anything else to say first. Any updates on Alexander? He's adjusting, let's see some time. Thoughts about the last run. Alright, Blitz. Have you fucked this up yet? Apparently nothing yet. Alright, cool. Well, let's go check the vendors. I am curious whether a new rifle has shown up. I'm still not sure about the high damage sniper rifles. I still don't think anything there makes sense numerically, but let's see. Rifles. If only there was some sort of sorting feature or maybe a tab. I don't suppose there's a shotgun. I mean, I feel like I want something that does more armor piercing. Just because everybody seems... It seems like you really have to have somebody equipped with debuff capability. Otherwise, you're losing half your damage to armor. Doesn't say anything about armor piercing on any of the shotguns. You know, it's weird to me that they... for... Shadowrun seems like the exact setting where they'd be like, oh yeah, we've decided that... we've finally figured out how to make flechette weapons make sense and be effective. I feel like flechette would be the option for, like... Maybe it does more damage against armored targets, but no additional damage against unarmored targets or something like that. Or there's some sort of scaling. Just something to... Since they made armor much more effective in this than in Returns, or much more of a thing that you have to deal with, it just seems to make sense to me that they would add a weapon category or thing that go with it. And I don't think the sniper rifles cover that base enough. All right, well, there's no new guns there. I'm going to assume nobody else has anything new either. Oh, I guess we gotta meet the contact first. So, yeah, okay. Let's see. Oh, is it? Oh no. Okay, it's not Lucky Strike, right? Let's quick save. Uh-oh. Okay, yeah. Just to see if she wants to talk this time or if she's gonna be mean again. Yeah, okay, cool. I guess you're not talking to me for the rest of the game. Maybe. This dwarf has a distractingly Eurasian appearance. He peers up at Iger through almond-shaped eyes. The rest of his broad face is dominated by strong Slavic features. He nods to himself and puts down his mug of soy calf. On the edge of of the table, a plate of day-old pie cools in a haze of cigarette smoke. Hoy, Iger. Been a long time. He taps a thumb on the rim of his coffee cup. Keeping busy? You could say that. Alice, this is Bannock. He's a friend. The dwarf scoffs. Don't know if I'd go that far. Nothing personal, you understand, but if I were to start keeping friends, I might call you one. Or if I were to start keeping you friends, I might call you one. But in my experience, friendship and obligation go hand in hand. I don't know why they do this punctuation stuff. I feel like this dash could be fine, but this shouldn't be a period. This should be probably a semicolon. Solitary life is cleaner. She smiles. Professional acquaintance, then. The dwarf nods. Better. Now let's get down to business, shall we? Let's. We need intel on the engineer. Where he's staying, who he's working for, how long he's been in Shotnest. Whatever you've got, we want it. He spears a hunk of pie with his fork, crams it into his mouth, and starts to chew. A moment later, he shrugs. I've had worse, and of course, I'll give you what I can, but I don't know much. I can point you in the right direction, that's all. Just tell us what you can. We'll handle the heavy lifting. The dwarf nods, then fumbles in his jacket pocket for something. A moment later, he produces a weathered paper map and spreads it on the table. All right, what you're looking at is the northwest quadrant of Shotnest. This is gang territory, all of it. These days, the whole Kiez is being held by Ramblock. Not those assholes again. Afraid so, and by all accounts, they've gotten worse recently. The guy that filled the power vacuum when their last leader bit it is a real piece of work. He stabs a meaty finger down on the faded silhouette of a building. Anyway, this warehouse right here is Ramblock HQ. That's where the engineer is staying. Wonderful. Iger exhales heavily. If he's staying there, he must be arranging some sort of deal with them. That'd be the safe bet, and they haven't pulled their guns on him yet, so it's fair to assume the negotiations are going well. I'm sure that I don't have to tell you this, but the last thing we need is an alliance between some foreign syndicate and Ramblock. No good could come of that. Can't argue with that. Now, I can't tell you who the engineer is working for. You'll have to ask him about that yourself. But what I can do is make it easier for you to have a sit-down with him. Bannock reaches under the table and brings up a canvas bag. He places it in front of you and pushes it forward. Don't open that in here. There are people in this room who would kill you for what's in that bag. This is a very different tone from the last one. You gonna tell us what it is, or do we have to guess? He lowers his voice to a soft whisper. You have to lean in to hear him clearly. What you're gonna find in there is a gadget about the size of a water pistol. It has a rubberized grip and a hair trigger, and it's good for one shot. Is it a stun gun? No. He pauses for a moment, playing with his fork. Well, not really. For your purposes, you might as well think of it as one, though. The object in question is a cyberware deactivator. I had it shipped here, at great personal expense, from a supermax prison in the UCAS. He traces a twirl in the air with a fork. The warden owed me a favor. Iger whistles appreciatively. Very nice, Bannock. That should make this easy. Not easy. Possible. I wouldn't be giving it to you if the job could be done without it. The engineer is rocking Delta-grade move-by-wire system. Unless you can shut it down, there's no way in hell you're going to catch him. Move by what? What does... I don't think you know what that means. Move by wire... Like... Guide by wire or wire guided literally means it's got a tether. And if it's integral to cyberware that's integral to a person, that just isn't terminology that makes any sense. And if we do shut it down, he'll be forced into a state of permanent seizure. He shrugs. Only until he gets the thing up and running again. Deactivated isn't the same thing as broken. The dwarf shovels another heaping forkful of pie into his mouth. He chews thoughtfully. Until then, his life will be a living hell, but I can think of worse things to use as a bargaining chip. Remember, you need to know who he works for. The more you can take him out of his comfort zone, the better. Sounds like we have a plan. Iger nods. Sounds that way. Thanks, Bannock. We'll let you know how things work out. Oh, I literally have to have it in my inventory. Alright. Don't bother. I'll be watching. Alright, well, we did the optional objective. I guess we better probably get it moving. I was planning on doing the OTK thing, but I think this is the priority. I'm glad I talked to Iger before Glory's mission, otherwise I think it may not have popped. Anyway. Alright. See you guys for that next time.